I just want to say thank you for everyone who is joining us today for the MIME and RYTMO Day of Service event webinar of how to make it in the music industry. Big thank you to Mike from RYTMO for helping us and sponsoring this event. We're so excited to be sharing MIME with students and sharing MIME with other great organizations. And we're excited to get started. So with that, I will pass it over to Mike from RYTMO to say a couple words about RYTMO, introduce what he does, and Mike, take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Natalie. Again, my name is Mike Anderson, and I am a co-founder and currently president and executive director of RYTMO, which stands for Reaching Youth Through Music Opportunities. We're a nonprofit in Anaheim whose mission is to empower, equip, and engage youth in music, music technology, and the music business. Since our inception, RYTMO has had about 5,000 youth come through our program, and our goal is to continue to reach out to the low-income, disenfranchised youth and help provide a music education. We have never turned down any youth that wanted to come into RYTMO. We do have a small tuition fee for students to come in, but I think more often we let kids come in even if they don't have any money, because we know the importance of a music education, and that's what we're supposed to do to help kids. We have built over our time not only a very wonderful relationship with heavy hitters and now made in Memphis Entertainment, but with NAMM and Berklee College of Music back in Boston. Every year we're able to send at least one student back to the Berklee City Music Network 5-week performance program. We've had 2 kids that were good enough that were offered full scholarships to Berklee. And so we're very proud of that. And we're proud with all of our partnerships. I think as much as you have the, education or jobs, I think our proudest moments was to be able to work with heavy hitters and to be able to release about 7 songs that were placed on daytime television. I think that's one of our proudest moments we've ever had. And to take kids and see kids change lives because of the wonderful things they do was just wonderful. So again, we're looking forward to partnering with everyone at Made in Memphis Entertainment. We're very grateful again for your support. We're very honored to be part of the webinar today. So again, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. We're also very excited to partner with RYTMO and all the amazing work y'all are doing over there. I'd like to now pass it off to the Made in Memphis co-founder and president, Tony Alexander. He'll jump into history of MIME and our goals of the day of service. But before that, I'll introduce with Tony Alexander has been married to his best friend, Dr. Gwendolyn Alexander, for 25 years. Tony and Gwen are parents to 3 children, Natalie, Philip, and Memphis Page. The Alexander family has been in Memphis, called Memphis their home for the past around 8 years. Tony is a serial entrepreneur offering 20 plus years of experience developing and implementing corporate strategies, as well as creating and leading intellectual property and regulatory practice groups for law firms. Innovation is the name of the game for Tony, as he has been a founder, co-founder, or early employee at 6 different businesses across multiple industries. With innovation often comes regulation, which Tony understands better than most as a registered patent attorney. His legal background encompasses intellectual property, technology transfer, venture capital, and regulatory compliance, with a special emphasis on emerging companies. Tony is an adjunct professor at the University of Memphis's Cecil C. Humphreys School of Law, teaching courses on food and drug law, patent law, entertainment law, and trademark law. Tony is also a committed community activist, serving as a senior pastor of a growing Memphis congregation dedicated to fostering and nurturing and caring environment for people of all backgrounds. It was actually Tony's religious work that initially brought the Alexander family to Memphis. The idea of starting a music business group came years later after Tony met Mr. David Porter, and the pair became fast friends. Tony graduated magna cum laude from Morehouse College before entering his master's science and Juris Doctor from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So with that, I'll pass it off to Tony. Tony, take it away.
Thank you so much, Natalie. I appreciate the introduction. I didn't realize you were going to go through all those details because I try not to have all that information out there. But the part about being married to my best friend certainly is a highlight. And I think that bio is just a little dated. We've been married 27 years. It'll be 28 in January. And we've lived in Memphis now for 12 years. It's been a wonderful experience. And you're right. We spent the first couple of years getting adjusted to the city of Memphis, but then I met David the second year that I was in Memphis, the legendary Hall of Fame songwriter David Porter, and we met. We started building a relationship, and that was why Made in Memphis Entertainment ultimately came to existence. Was because of some of the work that we were doing on the more philanthropic side. David started a nonprofit called the Consortium MMT for Memphis Music Town, and that was in 2012. We moved to Memphis in 2010, so that was the second year that I was here. And I was introduced by one of the city councilmen, who was also one of my Morehouse brothers, and he brought David and I together. I was helping David with a legal issue. It was really the tax exempt status for the consortium. And we resolved that. And ultimately, David asked me to join the consortium board. And I was one of the founding board members for the nonprofit, which is a wonderful organization that is tasked with the responsibility of developing songwriters, producers, and recording artists. And David tapped into his network of relationships, and he's brought in artists, writers, producers, engineers from all over the world to create content for these creatives. And so from Stevie Wonder to Ashford and Simpson to Paul Schaefer, just across the board, just talent, over 150 different videos speaking to these young people on how to develop and cultivate their talents and gifts to have a sustainable career in the music industry. But one of the things that we realized that as one or two or three cohorts of the program went through was that after getting this extraordinary training, they moved from Memphis and they relocated to other parts of the country. And we realized that something needed to be done about that. We didn't want to see the talent drain away from a city that has so much promise and so much opportunity. But when it came to the music industry, it just didn't seem like the opportunities were there to allow for these artists to pursue their passions and remain home. So that was the kernel of why we started Made in Memphis Entertainment. And so Made in Memphis Entertainment now in its current iteration is not limited geographically to Memphis. As you can see, we've gone from the idea of trying to keep young talent in Memphis to now having seven operating businesses under the Made in Memphis Entertainment umbrella. It ranges from having a label to a studio brand to having publishing companies to having licensing with Sync for film, television, advertising, video games, to music tech companies in the rights management area, helping people identify and collect unclaimed royalties, and also helping self-administering writers administer their own publishing through tune registries. So we have several companies under the umbrella of Made in Memphis Entertainment. But ultimately, the goal was to create opportunities and alternatives for those who would like to pursue music in some form as a career and be able to do it where they live. And so we set out on a mission. And the unique nature of Made in Memphis Entertainment, one of our early investors was the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis. So now you have a philanthropic organization joining forces with us to help build a mission-driven business. And so Made in Memphis Entertainment has a very clear mission. We want to serve creatives of all type, whether you're a songwriter, you're a producer, you're a recording artist. We want to be able to serve creatives, but we also want to develop the next generation of music executives. So whether you're on the stage or behind the stage, or you're even the one building the stage, the goal of Made in Memphis Entertainment is to help develop you professionally and allow for you to participate in the music economy and have all the skills and the ability to do that, and ideally be able to do it where you live. And so now Made in Memphis Entertainment has offices or staff in several cities, including Atlanta, Memphis, Nashville, New York, Los Angeles. And we're going to continue to expand into underserved markets where there's talent, but not necessarily the infrastructure to really serve the talent in the way that it deserves to be served. So David Porter and I started this business 7 years ago in 2015. And over the course of these last 7 years, the goal has been unwavering, and that is to create opportunities to support the creatives, but also to allow for those who want to participate in the music industry in professional forms and in various ways to give those opportunities. And so I think today you're going to get the opportunity to talk to several people who are operating in various aspects of the music business and to be able to give you insights on all the various careers that are available to you in the music industry. You don't have to be an artist to really have a wonderful career in the music industry. And so we're thankful that Mike has given us this opportunity to partner with him. And we thank you, Natalie, for taking the lead in making sure all this came together. So that's essentially the history of Made in Memphis Entertainment. And we're just beginning to serve the mission that we set out to serve when we began 7 years ago.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Yeah. And so now we are going to jump to Felix, who will be walking through the artist journey map. So passing it on to Felix.
All right. Thank you, Natalie. Hello, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Felix Whipple. I am the Marketing and Communications Manager for the MIME Group, based in our home office in Memphis, and could not be more excited to have you all here today. As Natalie mentioned, we're going through a document that we have that we refer to as the Artist Journey Map, which is basically how do all of our businesses and the services that you need affect you as you're going through the process of putting together and ultimately releasing music. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and pull this graphic up for y'all. Is everybody seeing that? Our red carpet rolled out. So in our sessions today, you'll have a chance to learn about each of the businesses within MIME and what our teams do, as well as how you can find your way into one of those teams, whether it be on the studio side, distribution, publishing. And through this, I'd like to give everybody a brief idea of how each of those businesses affect this release process. So if we start down here at the bottom of the screen, you can see that everything has to start with our inspiration. If an artist doesn't have anything to say or doesn't have a sound they're going for, we're probably not off to a great start. So somebody has to come to a Made in Memphis business or another business in the industry with their idea ready to go. These first couple of steps are where our recording studios, 4U Recording, based in Memphis and Atlanta, really come into play. So we have our writing sessions, we have our recording sessions, we have our tracking sessions, which include the mixing and mastering. And if I can use a culinary analogy here, of course, our engineers will talk through talk through this more with each of you. But if you look at the mixing and mastering, we've got our dish, we've got the recipe, that's our inspiration. We've got the recording, that's actually making the food. The mixing is how do we balance those flavors? How much sauce do we put for this piece of meat? How does everything come together? And our mastering is the plating of the dish. All of those elements have to be in harmony, to go back to music, to work together and to create the best product that we can put out. The next couple of steps deal with our publishing sectors. So this is probably the area of the music industry that most folks are confused by, because publishing is a bit of a mess. There are many different revenue streams that can be incorporated into a single release. There are a couple of avenues that each of those live within. Won't bore you with that now. Our expert team will do that in the MIME Publishing breakout room. But if you see here, we have our copyright registration, our PRO affiliation, and our mechanical rights registration and sound exchange. So each of those organizations collect money in a different way from a different sort of interaction that our audiences have with music. They're all very important. And if you don't know how to register with those groups, you're probably leaving money on the table. So publishing is very important. You are only hurting yourself to not have your publishing in check. If we go to our next couple of steps here, releasing our visual materials, the rollout planning, our distributor, ingestion, and then the actual release of the record. This is where our Beetroot music team comes in. So Beetroot specialize in getting your music out to Spotify and Apple Music and Tidal and all the streaming services. They do a fantastic job. Everything goes out on time. There's never a hitch. It's a really, really tight ship that they run over there. So they work with our artists to talk about, look, if you have a new single coming out, you're somebody that doesn't have a massive audience, maybe don't put it out the Friday before July 4th weekend when everybody's only going to be listening to the music they already know. There's a lot of expertise they can bring for how to play the game a bit, how to work with the industry at large, and to get your sound to the right people. It's tough to build an audience right now. Spotify, whether or not we take them at their word, claim that there's about 60,000 new songs released every day. To be the single person, whether it's in Memphis or LA or Atlanta or any other cities that we're involved in, just put out a song and hope, you're going to get lost in the noise. So Beetroot is here to help with that process. And then in our post-release and elevation, our final step here, this is where our heavy hitters team comes in. So heavy hitters are mostly based in LA. The team specializes in what's called sync licensing. And sync is basically anytime music is paired with video. So whether that be for a TV show, for a film, for advertising, for a video game, there's really, really impressive work that the creative team at Heavy Hitters do to find the right partnerships. Essentially, where does this music make sense? Where if CBS are coming to our team and asking for the clinching song, the dramatic final season, that's where our team can come in and say, look, this is how you round out your product. So like I said, this is a very brief overview of what MIME does. Each of our breakout rooms will be able to tell you more about the day-to-day within these businesses. But as you can see here, the sort of typical analysis of the music industry, where somebody might say, oh, I can't play guitar, I don't know how to write a song, there's no place for me in music, will never be the case. There is so much that people can do, whether that's on the creative side or more the administration side. And we're always looking for the best and brightest to come and help our team, as well as change the face of the music industry. Something that we talk about a lot in our team is there's no point in just doing the same as everybody else. And we want to build a better industry. So I hope that everybody who's here today will join us down the road in that mission. So thank you for the time. Looking forward to anybody who joins me and Lacey in the MIME LLC group, where even though we don't touch all of this stuff right away, we can talk with some more about sort of marketing, the day-to-day of working in a group like this, how all the businesses tie together, and what the future of MIME might look like. So Natalie, back over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Felix. Yeah, thanks for walking us through that as well. It's cool to see how the artist journey map touches each department at MIME. So with that, we are now going to go into our breakout rooms. So I will open up the breakout rooms, and you can choose whatever room you would like to meet, whatever department you would like to talk with. You'll have that opportunity, as well as each breakout room will be recorded. So when this is shared to the other students and organizations who aren't able to make the live event, they will also be able to choose the different conversations and watch those back. So we have, for the breakout rooms, we have the Beetroot room, which is our distribution arm, the MIME LLC, which Felix just touched on with him and Lacey, the MIME publishing room, the heavy hitters room, and the For You recording studio room. And so we will be in these breakout rooms, this first initial session for 15 minutes, where each MIME employee will share a little bit about their journey, what you need to know about their company. And then after that initial 15 minutes, we'll broadcast a message where you're able to go into another breakout session, which will also be recorded, meet new department, or you're welcome to stay in the same department if you're in the middle of a good conversation. So I'll now open up all the rooms and we'll be able to get started. So see you in a bit.